Hello, fifth graders. Welcome to our technology class. This is week 21. Oh my goodness. So I know all of you guys are at home. We miss you at school. And we're praying for you guys that you're staying focused and that you're doing well at home. So let me just start off just by going over our typing lessons. So we are every week having a new typing lesson. So please make sure that you set aside a day, make it your typing day, so that way you can keep up with the typing assignments every week, okay? And so this week, we are going to be doing paragraph practice, okay? So this is your fourth assignment for the typing for the third quarter, right? So we had the one-page typing test, we had short paragraphs, speed drills, and now we have paragraph practice. So please keep up, guys. This is an easy way to just get 100 on your typing every week. Okay. And this week we're continuing our lessons with internet safety and digital citizenship. So we're going to be actually talking about an interesting topic. And I'm going to be sharing that with you guys in a few minutes. And then we are going to also watch a short video about digital footprints. And hopefully you remember from last year what a digital footprint is. But pretty much anything that you post on the internet, could be pictures, videos, comments. If a friend posts something or shares something, even like things that you search on Google, these are all becoming part of your digital footprint, right? And this is kind of like who you are online. And so you really want to stop and ask yourself, who am I online? Is it really a true reflection of like who I really am in the real world, right? Or is it kind of like this other personality, like this other person? Like, are you different online, right? And so as you get older in middle school, we're going to be learning more about why digital footprints are so important for your future, for like when you're applying to colleges, when you are trying to get your first job, right? People, they can search you on the internet, right? They can see what types of accounts you have, what you post on those accounts. And it can tell them a lot about your character, who you are, what kind of a person you are. And so you really want to make sure it's a true reflection of who you really are, right? Because otherwise, I don't know, you could really be harming yourself by creating somebody on the internet that doesn't really reflect you. And maybe it's somebody who isn't very nice, right? So we do want to stop and think about that. So I'm going to put on the video now. So hang on. Okay, so let's watch this video. So what kind of a digital footprint do you want to leave? And so I really want you guys to be thinking about that before you post, before you search, before you choose, something to play or watch, right? Like, is it a reflection of who you really are, right? And so you have to think twice and you have to be smart with your choices. With technology. Okay. So this week our topic is beyond gender stereotypes. So we're going to be taking a look at the question, how do gender stereotypes shape our experiences online? And it's interesting because these stereotypes, they exist in person, and with the internet, they exist online now too, right? And these are pretty much how people see the roles of men and women, girls and boys, right? And kind of how they should be acting or what they should be into or how they should dress, right? And so, like, these are things that exist, but we need to be aware of them so that we can know how to navigate this when we're online. So, we'll be defining gender stereotypes, and we'll be talking about how they can lead to bias, right? And we're actually going to be having a cool project that you guys will be working on. So I'll tell you that at the end. So what do you think about these statements? And I know that you can't answer me because I'm talking to myself right now, but hopefully you're thinking about them. Girls worry about how they look. Girls are all drama queens. Boys are competitive and like to win. Boys are all aggressive and loud. So when you look at these statements, how does it make you feel? Well, hopefully you're thinking to yourself, well, I don't feel like any of these statements are just for girls or just for boys. I feel like they could apply to either one. There could be boys who worry about how they look, how their hair's styled. Did I put enough gel in? There could be boys who are drama queens, right? And have, well, drama kings with their friends having drama about different things. Girls could be competitive and like to win. They can be aggressive and loud. There's definitely aggressive girls and loud girls. So we start to realize that people, they tend to like make groups, right? And kind of attach these stereotypes. And it could be not only for gender. I mean, we see it for all sorts of things, right? People that like to read, oh, those are like the study nerds. And then there's like the gamers, and then there's the jocks, right? And they kind of group and categorize people. But we are all created uniquely and differently, and there really isn't a group that we could fit into because everybody's so different, right? And yes, we have things that are similar, but somebody might really like one thing and they also like something else too. It doesn't just mean that they fit neatly into this box and that's who they are, right? Like your identity is so much more than that. So what is a gender stereotype? So it's pretty much an oversimplified idea about how girls and boys should be, right? And so like we were just sharing in that box, right? It's so oversimplified to the point that we're like, this can't really be real. I mean, it can apply to anybody. And this happens a lot online. You'll see it with games, you'll see it with different websites, you'll see it with ads, right? Where it just seems like they try to attract a specific gender. And because they think that they're putting in all the stereotypical things that are going to attract the gender to that game, right? Or to that book or whatever. Website. And a bias is an unfair belief about a person or a group based on the stereotype. So you make the stereotype and then you create a bias. Like, oh yeah, girls are just into how they look. So then there's like some game where you have to maybe I don't know, do puzzles or something. And there's like, oh yeah, the girls aren't going to like that. There's not anything about fashion in there or like how you're going to dress or the main character is a boy. So it's an action adventure. And so they're just creating this bias, right? That, oh yeah, boys, they only like sports games or fighting games. But then what if there's a boy who likes like some sort of a design game, or some sort of a drama game or something, a story game, like, would that be okay? I mean, like everybody has different interests, right? And you guys may have created an avatar online. These can be a lot of fun. It's where you pretty much you create a character that represents you and you use it. Like maybe you use it in a game, you might use it in your profile, right? And these can be a lot of fun. But that's gonna be part of our project is creating an avatar. But you know what? They also can, kind of be stereotypical sometimes. Like people might not even realize that they're creating an avatar that kind of fits into the stereotypes. And so you really have to ask yourself, like, is the avatar that I'm creating, like, what's the purpose of it? Like, are you just trying to make it funny or whatever, just kind of a fun thing? Are you really trying to make it reflect you, right? And so that's something that we'll be looking at today. So wait, let me just pull this up. So hang on one second. Okay, so the first part of your assignment this week is going to be to think about some of the gender stereotypes that you've seen in your life and online. And then you're going to create a little poem. So how do these stereotypes apply to you? Are they true for you, or do you challenge them? You're going to create a poem addressing the stereotypes by sharing things that are true about you. So for example, you could say, just because girls are dramatic doesn't mean that I'm dramatic, doesn't mean that I like drama. Just because boys are into sports doesn't mean I like sports, doesn't mean I can't play a game that isn't a sport game, right? So come up with something, or just because they say that boys have to be super strong doesn't mean that girls can't be strong too, right? And so try to come up with a poem that really addresses and speaks to the different gender stereotypes, and pick something that relates to you. So think about yourself and think about the different stereotypes. So if you're a boy, think about the stereotypes about boys. If you're a girl, think about the stereotypes about girls, and then try to come up with how you challenge them. So how there's something about you. Just because I'm a girl doesn't mean I like to bake or cook, right? I mean, just because I'm a boy doesn't mean that I can't like to bake and cook, right? I feel like they always just think that, like, well, girls do all the cooking or the baking or something, and boys like to go out and, I don't know, shoot their Nerf guns. But why can't the girls shoot the Nerf guns and the boys bake cookies? Like, does it really matter? Like, if you like to do something, like, is that okay? You know? And so it's just getting you to really think about that. And then the second part is you're supposed to imagine that you're going to be playing an online game, which you shouldn't even have to imagine that. I think for most of you guys, you're already playing some online game. You need to create an avatar for yourself from scratch. Think about the stereotypes we've discussed and create an avatar that responds to them. So it could follow the stereotypes, it could, or it could challenge the stereotypes, or it could do both. After you've drawn or pasted in your avatar, answer the reflection questions at the bottom. What stereotypes did you follow or challenge in your avatar? And how did you follow or challenge them? And what details did you include? So I have a fun website. I'll send you the link. It's a free avatar maker. So if you want to, just kind of play around with it, that would be totally fine. You can just make a fun little avatar. Like, I can just kind of play around with it and have a fun avatar that I can play with and create with. You can change the color. You can do a lot of things on there. Change the way the face is, the nose, the ears, the eyes, the hair, the clothes, and even the background. So if you want to just make yourself in a little avatar, you can have fun with this. But then you also can download it. So like, you can download it. I'll show you guys. You can download it, and then what you can do is you can, when you're in here, you should be able to, you can add it into here. But the only thing is, you're probably going to have to kind of be creative, because it's not really giving us enough to be able to really show the different stereotypes, right? Because they don't let you show you doing something. So with your avatar, you might want to think about, like, if you want to have your avatar doing something, like, what would it look like? So I'll send you this website for fun. You don't have to use this website. It's just kind of for fun. If you would rather just use like a different drawing website, like Paint or something, and create an avatar, or if you have another way, if you just want to print it out and draw it and just like do it that way, it's up to you. Okay, guys. It's supposed to just be a fun activity. So let's take a look at the lesson quiz. Which of the following is the correct definition of a gender stereotype? Is it a true fact about how men, women, or people of other genders act? An oversimplified idea about how men, women, and people of other genders are or should be? Or a type of stereo that has to do with gender? So we know the answer is oversimplified ideas. Believing in gender stereotypes can result in which of the following? Avatars, interests, truth, or bias? Bias, right? Where you have this idea based on the stereotype. Princess Peach is the only girl in the video game Super Mario Brothers. The purpose of the game is to save Princess Peach, who wears a pink dress and earrings. What are some of the stereotypes about girls you recognize in Princess Peach? Girls are brave fighters. Girls like pink and need to be saved. Girls play video games, or girls are strong and powerful. It's girls like pink and need to be saved. That's kind of like the stereotypical thing of Princess Peach, right? What could the creators of Super Mario Brothers have done differently to change gender stereotypes? Could they have created new male characters with different powers? Changed the story so Princess Peach has superpowers and doesn't need to be saved? That'd be fun. Keep the game as it is and let players decide how to play, or remove Princess Peach? So the answer would be change the story, right? And so it's just getting you guys to think it's fine, like to have these games and things, but it gets you to kind of really think how, yeah, like sometimes people really do kind of just have those stereotypes, but are they really true? And they're not. When you realize it, they're not true. And so for you guys, it's really just recognizing that, and maybe just having an awareness. Do I have any bias in my life where I think a certain way about certain people because of stereotypes, right? And like, how can you break that? You can break it by recognizing that not everybody fits into the stereotype, right? Stereotypes are not this thing that's always true. They're not. So again, let me just go back to the avatar thing because I feel like I made it kind of confusing. So you're just creating an avatar. Like I don't even, I'll send you this website if you want. You don't have to use this. You can just draw it if you want, just draw it so you can be creative. I feel like that website's kind of limiting. Maybe I won't even send it to you guys. It'll be too confusing. If you come up with some way to create an avatar, just go for it and create it. You can copy and paste it in here. So I'll kind of just leave it up to you guys, just how you want to do it. But just make sure you answer the questions, okay? And make sure you do the poem too. So you're supposed to do this. So it's kind of like 2 pages. And then you have the short quiz, which we just went through the answers. And then just think about it, think about what we were just talking about. Next time you're on a game, next time you're on a website, like think about like who's their target audience? Why do they do this? Why do they why do stereotypes exist online, right? And a lot of the times I would say it's probably because these companies want to make money. And so they try to just target these populations of people based on what they think they're going to be interested in. And it probably works for like the group of people who are interested in that. But then there's always going to be the outliers, the people who just are like, that's not something that I'm interested in, like, even though they're trying to target it and what they think I'm going to fit into the stereotype, right? So you have to almost just like broaden your views and your mind and realize that like stereotypes aren't always true, right? And that's in person, that's online, that's in life, right? So it's important for us to really not have those things, and to try to be open-minded when we're interacting with people, when we're looking at different things, when we're putting ourselves out there, right? Part of our digital footprint, right? If somebody looked at all your pictures, would you be wearing pink in every picture and like holding up like your newest pair of earrings or something? Or if you were a boy, would you like always have like the new jersey on and like have like your basketball or whatever? Like that's probably maybe a little part of your life, but it's probably not your whole life, right? Because there's more to you. And so we want to try to just break the mold, right? Especially as Christians. Like I feel like Christians get so many stereotypes on them, which aren't even true. And if anything, the stereotype we would want to have is, boy, those Christians, they always are the ones that love the most. They are just the most loving people. That'd be a nice thing to be grouped into. Because then you're like, well, you're right. We are. We're the most loving people. Um, but so, anyways, hopefully getting you guys to think about this topic. And if you have any questions, let me know. And I will see you guys next time. Okay. Bye, guys.